As we talked about last week, the Lions and the Bills are 3-0. Is it the apocalypse? Well, this guy's so attractive, I don't know whether it is or not. You're going to stay tuned to the Sports Cycle. Welcome to the Sports Cycle, NFL Football Edition. I'm your host, Donnie Dwyer, alongside this attractive man, David Tukesbrey, WMUR Marquette Radio Assistant Sports Director. And we're going to talk about some more NFL football as we did last week. And the Bills and the Lions, we talked about them last week. Now they're 3-0, and ESPN and other networks are saying, are they legit? Are they the team that is going to win their divisions? I mean, Dave, are they really that legit?
Well, you are what your record says you are. And, you know, both teams are 3-0 right now, and a couple people are asking me last week, do the Bills have really any chance to beat the Patriots at home? And I said, no, they got no shot. But they have timely defense. And I'm not going to say the Bills' defense is good because they've let up 30-plus points back-to-back weeks, but they have the timely defense in intercepting Brady 4 times. And they have the running game of Fred Jackson, the passing game of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Stevie Johnson catches it. They just have such a good, you know, kind of ebb and flow of offense and defense all mixed together. I think they are for real. They are 3-0, and they're looking pretty good right now.
You know, I was watching Turning Points on Versus this week, and they pulled up the sound bites of Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I think that the Bills' system now is so intelligent because he said during the Oakland game, I'm going to find you in the seams if you have one-on-one man coverage. Had one-on-one man coverage and hit it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, that Harvard mentality is getting in places. Do you think that the Bills are finally stepping their way up rather than changing coach after coach after coach?
I think they are because Ryan Fitzpatrick right now seems to be their guy. He's been in the league a little bit. He's kind of done the whole clipboard thing, and you know he's been working his way up the ladder a little bit. He's finally kind of finding a way to dissect defenses a little bit. He's looking very relaxed and composed out there. And this is again, Donnie, back-to-back weeks where the team is down by 18 points against last week against the Raiders, and now this week they're down 21-0 against one of the best teams in football, the New England Patriots. And again, that calm, cool head of Ryan Fitzpatrick just getting it done, and he is their guy. I think he's going to be their franchise quarterback for quite some time.
And one team that's been getting it done is here in Wisconsin, the Green Bay Packers. Let me just tell you something. They went on to Chicago. They beat the Chicago Bears the third straight time in 2011. 2011, this year, they beat the Bears 3 times. Last time they lost a road game was in December of 2010 against the Patriots.
Right.
In December. Okay, now they went on the playoffs and they haven't lost road win. How good is this team right now, and are they going to be I'm not predicting right now, but are they good enough to repeat as champions?
I think they are good enough to repeat, and I think right now, as we film this, I think the Green Bay Packers are the team to beat in the NFC, because until somebody knocks you off the top, you are the team to beat. They're 3-0 right now. They do it in so many different ways because Ryan Grant runs it. He's finally healthy this season. Aaron Rodgers is arguably one of the 2 best quarterbacks in football right now. And, you know, the thing that really impresses me about the Packers is when one guy goes down, another guy steps back up. Jermichael Finley was out all of last season. Donald Lee, of course, he's gone now. But it doesn't really matter who the Packers put out there to play. They know it's one guy goes down, another guy comes right back up. And Jarrett Bush is playing well at the cornerback position for the Packers right now. And even the loss of Nick Barnett, you know, it doesn't really seem to bother this team so much because their defense is flying around. They're picking off Cutler. That's not, you know, I mean, a lot of people pick off Jay Cutler, but their defense is flying around. Rodgers is playing well. Driver, Greg Jennings, and Jordy Nelson's made a couple really long touchdown catches this year, and Jennings is doing a fantastic job blocking out on the edge.
So they've been having a good job this year just getting everything together. But one team that hasn't got anything together is the Indianapolis Colts. Right. And once they lost Peyton Manning, everything's been gone. Reports have said that he won't be able to play this season. Do you see this team winning more than at least 2 to 3 games?
It's tough to say right now if they're going to win any more than 2 to 3. Their defense against Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football was fantastic. Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis bringing the pressure from the edges was just stupendous. But the offensive position, the quarterback position, is so paramount in the NFL. And Kerry Collins goes down with a concussion, and then Curtis Painter comes on, and he didn't look a whole lot to write home about. He had a couple good throws here and there, but overall, the Colts, they're a big work in progress. They just signed Dan Orlovsky, the former Detroit Lions quarterback, but if they can get consistent play from their defense, like on Sunday night, and consistent play from that quarterback position, whether it be Painter or Orlovsky, they can win maybe 5 games tops this season, but it's going to be a long one for the Indianapolis Colts.
And I mean, it is going to be a long one. It's a long season as well. There's a lot of teams that are 2-1, a lot of divisions that are mixed up right now. Do you see a team coming from the bottom or coming from their rough start to becoming the champions of the division or even winning the wild card?
Well, there's a couple teams right now that are 1-2. Mainly the two that point out to me are the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles, both teams with very high expectations coming into this season. Peter King, he said that the Falcons are the Super Bowl favorite from the NFC. I think either of those teams can quickly turn it around. I think Atlanta's going to get healthy this week against Seattle, a team that's kind of struggling a little bit. And Philadelphia, Michael Vick, they got to protect him a little bit more. So I think either of those two teams out of the NFC South or the East can kind of make things happen.
And what do you think about your Seahawks? They had a big win this week against Arizona, but where do they move from this? They're still, the passing game is off. Their offensive line is the youngest in football, but it's been rough with the running game. Their defense is still actually solid.
Right.
Where do they go from that win against Arizona?
Well, it is something to build off of, but this week they have the Atlanta Falcons, as I just mentioned, in Seattle. It's going to be a very difficult game for them, but they need to get Tavares Jackson time to throw the football. That is paramount. He's been sacked, I believe, 14 times in the first 3 games of the season. But Tavares needs to go through his progressions a little bit. When he looks at Sidney Rice, of course he's going to look at Sidney Rice first because he's most comfortable with him. When he looks at him and he's not open, he doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't look left to look for Mike Williams. And he needs to kind of go through his progressions a little bit, show that he knows this offense. This is Darrell Bevell's offense that he ran in Minnesota, so he needs to show that he actually knows it and can actually function in it. But they got their running game going a little bit against Arizona. Their defense is very solid, very stout up the middle with Brandon Mebane and Red Bryant in the running game. And the safety play has been awesome with Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor. So the defense is very good right now, very solid, but the offense is still very much of a work in progress.
And one thing that you should do is check out my work in progress on the Sports Cycle. Check out the website, www.thesportscycle.com, for more articles on the NFL, especially the new fantasy sleeper picks to go on the website and look at those. For Dave Tukesbrey and Donnie Dwyer, go score a touchdown, folks.